Hi, welcome once again to career counseling session, the mindset. Now, mindset, as we all know, is a session wherein we talk to entrepreneurs, wherein we try to understand what goes inside the mind of an entrepreneur when he or she embarks into a journey of uncertainty and creativity to a certain extent. Um, Today, we talk about information and data mining, and information is something that is driving and is considered as the biggest asset for any organization or any country. And in a time when information is considered as the biggest asset of any organization or country, we have a special guest today, Mr. Vaibhav Singh, a very young entrepreneur. Though he dislikes to be labeled as an entrepreneur, he claims to be an explorer. And he is someone who is finding out answers to your questions. We will have him today. We will have a discussion about his journey. And let me welcome Vaibhav Singh to this session of Mindset with Career Counseling Online. Good evening, Vaibhav.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good evening, sir. How
Very
are
good.
you?
Hey, thank you so much. I'm doing good, Vaibhav. And as I was mentioning, in mindset, as I've already mentioned, in mindset episodes, we talk to people. Let's not go about the label of entrepreneurs. We rather talk to people who are taking a different course altogether in doing something, and and rather in an approach to give something back to the community, right? And today,
Uh-huh.
when we are living in a digital world, literally we are living in a digital world with information all around. We would like to welcome you on behalf of Career Counseling Online as a person, as a guest of the hour to share your experience with us. So, Vaibhav, let us start by a bit of your introduction, and we will take it forward accordingly.
Okay. So my name is Vaibhav, as you all know, and this is a humongous opportunity for me to introduce myself to a greater audience and connect with you all, and rather share my journey and the things which uh, you could have a bit of insight about and learn most probably. Right now I've completed my bachelor's and going towards my master's stream, and but this was my study part. Apart from that, I am doing a lot of work to explore myself, to uh, understand what I am capable of doing, and you know this I'm at a particular age where I'm trying to explore myself than rather than just having a fixed path in a particular stream. So having a bit insight about various streams, various niches, and then collaborating all of them to make a nurtured stream for myself, which I want to pursue later on in the time.
Okay, okay, that's great. Vaibhav, apart from the studies part, because of late we do see that people, even parents, do concentrate only on the studies part, which I believe personally does not help a person develop in the 360-degree view. If you are only studying books, if you're only studying the subject matters, maybe you become a subject matter expert, but that does not take you very far in your life, wherein the whole environment, the surroundings, and everything is changing. Right, Vaibhav?
Yeah.
Vaibhav, in a time when there is an abundance of data, I would rather say, I mean, the other day as I was talking to you, Like today we are flooded with information which are so much more than what is required, and that has actually created a lot of confusion. You know, what is ethical data, what is accurate data, and what is a verified data, people seldom do consider. And people we see, I mean, after the great court hearing of Facebook and others, wherein data has been manipulated, data has been fabricated. Tell me, what initiated, your journey towards finding out answers for others? I mean, and what is your project all about? If I may call it a project, or rather than a startup, what is your project all about, and what are you guys doing?
Okay, so I'm gonna start with the education part. The biggest problem in our education system is that it lacks implementation. Uh, just take in consideration, like I learned German language a few years back for a particular whole year, but as I was not implementing that, I totally forgot it. Now I have to learn it from the scratch again to understand that language. So if you are implementing a particular knowledge, if you are gaining a particular knowledge and implementing it in a particular field, then you will more likely to retain it rather than just mugging up the knowledge. And if you will not know how to implement it and where to implement it, that knowledge will be a waste, and you can't grab it with the same excitement and understanding that you may have if you know where it should have been implemented. So this was the part about the education part. So our project was mostly based on implementation. Like most of us of people have various ideas, but the thing is we lack the support system in a particular society. I can say it a society that who doesn't support a particular. If you have an idea, it won't get the same support system that you may have if you would have been in a better surrounding. So you have to uplift yourself in a particular surrounding and network so that you can learn and give it back to other people. So QuestionScoop was all about this implementation. It was never fixed to a particular niche or particular idea. Rather than it was a way how we can use our particular ideas and not waste our time. Like you can uplift yourself and we are in the starting, question scoop was about blog writing. Then it converted into a podcast brand. Then we started inviting guests. Then we started hosting webinar session, and now we are trying to uh, introduce, launch some of our products, which may help. But it in the starting, if I say in the starting we had thought of a product idea, it was never there. But with step by step, it is coming up. And the thing you said about the data, uh, like most of the publications and media houses in our country, not in a country, rather than at various parts of the world, they are they become a suitor to a uh, particular organization, a particular government, just because they have a profit making about from them. Like they are all interconnected. So
Absolutely.
we as Question Scoop wanted to share our idea in the most unscripted form, not dependent on anyone, rather than giving pieces of information which was right, exact, and what we thought was never polarized. Like people become polarized in their opinion, but we are trying to stay neutral and tell you the facts rather than going to a particular or suggesting or aiding a particular uh, side, I would say.
Okay. Vaibhav, the thing is, while it's a gradual process of growing, what I understand, and I really like this idea of not being polarized and not being captivated within a particular fixed bracket. Now, when we are talking about data being offered by QuestionScoop, I mean, like if I go by your website, it says that you question and we scoop it out for you. Now, when you give the answer back or the data back to me, let's say when I ask you a question and you give me back the uh, answer to it, I'm not going into the technical algorithm of data mining and others. On the ethical ground, if I may ask you, because this was the question which was asked in the court to Mark Zuckerberg also, like by the congressman, that what is the ethical ground of the data which is being provided, and how do you ensure that data accuracy and data authenticity is maintained at the same time?
So as we are not a major media house, so we don't have on-site reporters and stuff. But we, when we provide a particular info, then we don't go through a particular website. We don't go through a particular data and uh, relay it to you. Rather than we go to multiple ideas, multiple strategists, views of strategists around the world, understand what they have to say and what they don't have to say, and understand their viewpoint, and then uh, curate in the best possible way which we feel that it should be more reliable than the other media houses. Like if you go to a particular media house, it will convey a particular viewpoint. If you go to another media house, it will convey a different viewpoint. Then
Absolutely.
we have to curate in a particular way which is more we can't be sure that it is for providing a authentic data. We have to rely on the particular media house, but
Hmm.
we have to go through the both of the data, both of the polarized thing, and then curate in a way for the audience that it can be relayed in the most efficient manner.
Okay, so it's
The
more like.
authenticity part,
Mhm. Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
the authenticity part, can't be we are not taking on ourselves because we have not on ground reported, as I said earlier. But
Hmm.
we try to curate in the best possible way by going through all the data available online.
Okay, okay, okay.
Going through the all the data and going through a particular set of data is a different thing. So we try to go through the all of the data.
Okay, okay. So what I understand from what you said right now is it's just not a set of information which is returned by a search parameter. Rather, it's a pretty researched information which comes to me, rather than
Yes.
just a couple of links and couple of information. It is more of a research wherein all the validity and the curation is done to the best possible knowledge. Okay, that actually speaks on the ground of ethical data only. Because when I get an answer from QuestionScoop, I get an answer from the team of QuestionScoop. I can rely upon it that I need to check it. Obviously, I need to check upon my own discretion, but maybe I don't need to check and recheck the way we have to do when we are reading over Google or in any search engine. Whenever we are going through any information, whether it's Wikipedia, Google, or any others, what we do is generally we read two, three, or four places to be validated, right? So it's good to know that QuestionScoop is doing that kind of research. So talking about the research, and when you mentioned we, I would like to know about your team. Like along with you, I understand you are the founder of this project QuestionScoop. So along with you, who are the other warriors in the team?
Okay. So first of all, I'm totally thankful to them that they are supporting me at the time
Hmm.
when most of others wouldn't have. And rather than there were multiple people who I should have chosen, but I specifically took these people because they were, at my knowledge, the best people in the who wanted to implement the main founding principle of the question scope was implementation, and they were too much excited and willing to implement. And
Okay.
so the first is uh, Rishabh, who is a researcher, lead
Hmm.
researcher. He does the researching part, going through the data analysis, and Pragyan, who is a podcaster, who is also the podcast guest host, and she does the audible version of the our blog. So the people who are not willing to read a particular set of paragraphs, they can most probably when we are driving, he can listen to it. Rather,
Okay. Okay.
uh, when we are not doing that productive work in a daily life cycle, they can
Hmm.
probably plug in the earplugs and then they can listen to our blogs.
Okay.
And Brian, who is a chief designer, and he's more related to the uh, marketing thing.
Okay.
He's the human resource part who handles the guest, who handles the marketing field, and who handles the social media. And there's a publisher, uh, uh, Radhaman, who does the publishing part of the blogs, who set up the blog, how they have to be published on the website. And
Hmm.
there's Prakhar, who writes a particular set of, like right now he's working on a particular set of blogs which are related to the sports field, because he was more it was more about implementation. He was likely and more keen to do a particular blogs on sports, so he's producing a series on sports. And there's Leo, who does a question Leo Scoop, which is a more comic version, because meme has taken over a word, so we
Yeah.
need to introduce a sense of humor
Mhm.
uh, to keep engaging the audience in a particular format rather than just
Absolutely.
boring them with a particular feed. So Leo Scoop, he does a comic version of a news of an information that is
Okay.
published. And there is Jack, who has recently crossed 1 million in the Giphy making industry. Like, she makes Giphy and GIF artists and design artists. So she's
Okay.
also there in the team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it looks like a bunch of people as passionate as you towards data and information authenticity and providing us with the information which is curated, validated, and a lot researched. So, Vaibhav, if I may ask you, like,
Uh-huh.
see, while we hear all these aspects, it sounds absolutely promising. It sounds great. I mean, but the thing is, in the world of commerce, we always tend to be driven by a question like, okay, I understand all the good work that you're doing, so what's the commercial point behind it? I mean, what are you thinking about the project in terms of making it sustainable and going full scale and going much bigger than what you're doing right now? So what is your plan of action, if I may ask you, to make it full throttle, like a full fledged, absolutely, a great project which is delivering curated information? And how do you plan to make it sustainable? Because that's a question which might be even asked by the investors and the VCs and others. Because in sharing information, great information is absolutely good. I understand. But if you are asked like how you plan to make it sustainable, what would be your answer to it?
Okay. So main idea about the whole thing is we as humans tend to rely more on the short-term goals. Like, if you are working on a particular field, like you are producing a work, we
Mhm.
tend to think that we have to get a outcome and return of the particular work that we are putting in a short period of time. But that's not the case. You will never get results in a short period of time if you are committed towards something, initiative. So I would start with saying this, that before all this, I started with a volunteer program in CRI. I was the CRL at CRI Chennai. So I used to go to the students, teach in school, and go organize tournaments where different companies used to come and play football and etc.
Uh-huh.
So the thing is, uh, I started that because I don't want it to waste my time sitting at home on the hostel, rather than go and do something productive, anything. I know that will not give something in return, but you have to do something productive. It will eventually pay you back, but it will never pay you back turanth. Like, you will not get the result like at that moment. You have to
Mhm.
wait. So I first started. I was in the volunteer in the CRL. Then I went to Enactus as an associate. And I was senior mechanical engineer at Subsea Recon. And then the things passed on, and I started progressing step by step. So
Okay.
if I would have not started at a volunteer program in the school, I
Mhm.
wouldn't have gone through this whole process. Rather than I would have gone through the mainstream in this college and passing out from the college without
Right.
doing, without exposing this side. So you have to start at some point. And the thing you said about commercialization. So one thing I learned in the in Actis and Subsidiocon and all that stuff, I learned that you have to get into a good network, collaborate with people. Like there are various options. Right now, like the product part we are launching, it is more about the collaboration things, so we can commercialize a particular product. And in the college we didn't have money to do a project, so we used to run ads through the uh, official there was an app in our college, so we used to run ads to pay ask for donations, and we used to collaborate with particular deans of a college, so that who were working on certain programs aided by the Indian government, like Unnat Bharat Abhiyan and stuff like that. So you will have to collaborate with a particular people who are working in a particular field. So you can get a, a payment of your, if I may say, a payment which is more likely to a better suitor that we tend to understand these days. So you have to collaborate with people, and the thing is, you will eventually get into a particular network who are willing to collaborate and help you with your particular project. But you should never in the starting think about money as the only aim, because that would not go long way. You have to think, if you are going long way, you have to make yourself interested in the project, and the commercialization part is a later add-on that you may find with time.
Okay. So Vaibhav, you see, to be very honest, this part when you explained, I was pretty mesmerized in the way your body language, your tone, your passion, the way you were meaning everything. So these are the common traits I would really say that when I talk to entrepreneurs and big business people also who have started from scratch and who have struggled a lot and who have taken their project to a certain extent. I have seen the similar kind of passion, the similar kind of josh, if I may say, driving them. So it makes me feel very good. I mean that today talking to you. So Vaibhav, I absolutely agree with your point that if I do not start somewhere, it never gets done. First thing is that, and second thing is, if it never gets done, we never meet the like-minded people who would be willing to collaborate with the project, and we never know how the project may take turn. And absolutely rightly said that the other day I was doing this video for my own channel, wherein the topic was that it is now time for social responsibility. Why wait for the CSR programs? Because CSR is something that the business is implementing, right? But you, as a social being, you have a social responsibility. So you taking part in cry and you working, while your friends might be going for a movie and having chit chat and going to other friends' places. You taking that initiative, you going ahead. Well, that is a trait of somebody who wants to contribute to the society. So if I may continue in that direction, you being the founder, being a founder of the project, this is, I believe, one position wherein it always requires 100% of your positivity, right? I mean, as a founder, you cannot be ever taken aback by any negativity or any downfall. So, what is your mantra for role handling? Like if I say you have similar aged people in QuestionScoop, you have similar educational background people in QuestionScoop, and everybody is doing their part. So, what is your mantra behind role handling? Because Vaibhav, in today's corporate world, that is something which is lacking and which is creating more chaos than harmony, because people cannot handle their role. People believes that role means that either you become bossy or you start showing attitude, or you don't have to do anything. Basically, you are like a slave master who gets job done. So what do you say about your role handling with QuestionScoop?
Okay. So before you start anything in your life, just uh, first of all, you have to update your mindset. I want to give you this understanding about this particular thing by a solar system. Consider a solar system, remove of the planets, and only take the rings of each planet, like the revolutionary path, and the
Mm-hmm.
sun as the center. So sun are you. You consider yourself as a sun or a point. Okay. So you have to grow. In this world, we always tend to think about ourselves, what we will get, what we will achieve, what we will do in life, rather than going about the community. So every stage of life, try to reach the next circle. Like if you are the sun, reach the next circle. Next circle will be your family. Think about them. If you are only thinking about yourself, think about your family. And if you have achieved that circle, if you are if you take that circle as yourself, like if you take your family, their success and everything else as your success, uh, then then move to the next circle. Next circle will be your friend zone or your uncle and aunt and relatives. So move to the
Right.
next circle. And if you have achieved that circle, if you think that as a particular solid mass and you think about that solid mass as a whole, then move to the next circle, the community around you, the neighbors, the people around you, the people who you work for. So try
Right.
to move to the next circle at each stage of life. And if if you will keep moving to the next circle at each stage of life, then you will never feel that you are at loss, you are at trouble, you are at this thing. So you will think that whole mass is in trouble. If each of us will think like this in our lives, we all will succeed. And rather than thinking about destroying a particular field, I'm huge fan of Gary Vee, and he told with this line: if you want to build the tallest building in town, don't destroy other buildings rather than just build your building the tallest. So always think about your community. Think about the people who you work for. Think about their success, and you will eventually succeed. It's not the fact that you will get lost or something, that you are killing yourself or jeopardizing yourself for their
Mm-hmm.
success. It will never be the case. And the second thing is the depression thing. Depression is totally common. You don't have to be upset about it. It's totally common because at our age, uh, or we can any age, if you can consider any age, the people are not in the offices too. The people who are working, who are lot older than me, who are working, they have not explored anything. Like they have went in from the college. That was a particular set of workforce or
Mm-hmm.
a particular, what we say, system in the society that
System.
they went through. Then they went to the workplace, and then they were put into that system. So they never. It's not called working. It's eventually called you know you're following the orders. You're following rather than working. Working will be something you are initiating. You are working on yourself. You are taking your decision and your stuff. But as a society, we are always tend to bound to a system, so we never explore, and that's why we think that system is our whole universe, and then we tend into depression because we are not excelling in that particular system. So you have to move out of the system and then explore the people who are around you. And we are very privileged. If you ever fell into depression, feel about the people who are much who don't have food to eat, who are in the war struggling, like Lebanon right now. I have huge condolences for that. They are in the war strike region, and we are a lot more privileged than many people. So always think that there are a lot of people who you have to give the community, who you have to work for eventually
Mm-hmm.
succeed. So you have think as a mindset, you have to give back to the community, as is already said. You have to always give back to the community. Think as wise, and you will always find a way in your life rather than stagnating at a particular point.
Okay. So Vaibhav, from an engineer to a philosopher to almost like an astrophysicist, like listening to your comparison of humanity with the solar system, the cosmic world. I was just remembering Stephen Hawking's book, The Cosmic Detective. Stephen Hawking mentioned, this book was actually written by Dr. Mani Bhomik, and Stephen Hawking's comparison and Dr. Mani Bhomik's comparison of humanity with the solar system, with you being the center. That is absolutely a great way of putting it forward. So, Vaibhav, I have been talking, past couple of months, I've been talking to a lot of entrepreneurs, and one thing that I see common in them is, they are highly philosophical. I do appreciate that because I believe, philosophy gives you, your vision beyond looking at the present, right? I mean, what we are doing as a consumer, or what we are doing in the present life. So, what do you believe? I mean, the philosophy part is an essential part when somebody has to do something different, because this passion, why is it missing in the present generation, if I may say, or even in surroundings? Why don't we see more of this passion? Is it because of the philosophy that they believe? Because the kind of philosophical talk that you are saying compared to your age, well, it is looks like you have ages of experience about life, and so in depth clarity about life. So why is it that we in the society, not everybody is reflecting the same kind of mindset?
Uh, so the thing about books, I don't read that many of them, but I rather than watch things like this thing, the thinking about the creator community. I learned it about there was a particular character in the Ragnar. It was in the Vikings. It was a show, TV show.
Okay.
So he drew this thing that think about yourself, and he drew a bigger circle in the sand, and that thing it hit me, and I always remember that portion in a TV series. It was a
Hmm.
TV series. It was a normal TV series to watch about a Ragnar and the Vikings, the life of Vikings. But this thing hit me, and it will always remain in my life. So the thing is, there is observe that there is too much in our surrounding, too many things. Try to observe things happening around you, and you will eventually find your answers in everything. But you have to observe, get into a particular, move out of the system that you know. We always think that what our parents have been teaching, or what everyone else has been saying, that's the right thing. But that's never the right thing. You are unique, and you have to find what's right for you. So for finding something right for you, you don't have to go into the philosophy part. Rather than just observe and try to implement, go in the background, just start cutting wood, and try making something. And if you are good at it, try to think about how you can, nowadays, just a second.
Okay. Okay. Vaibhav, could you just unmute yourself? Yes, yes, that's okay.
Yeah, sorry for that.
No, no, that's all right.
Okay,
Tell me. Hmm.
our internet nowadays is providing huge resources, huge, endless ocean of data and
Right.
learning option available in the online platform. But it is our initiative. We have to go through them and understand what are options available around us, and try to induce ourselves into that particular field, that particular niche. And it's a hit and run thing. You will never find that you started something and you will be good at that. You have to try to induce yourself into a particular segment. Think, are you right for that? No, then move to another field. If you are wrong for that, move to another field. But you have to do that hit and run. As for the people who are in the age of 20 and 25, I'm specifically targeting them in this particular thing. That do something. Try to this COVID thing has given you a huge opportunity.
Hmm.
Try to go through yourself and try to think about what else can you do from the work, because anyways we were going into that system that of the work. But try to start something else which you may have. This is consider this COVID as an opportunity that start something else,
Right.
scout an idea, any idea. It's not that you have to think about something big or a millionaire, but you have to think like you will be a millionaire or something. Just a normal idea, just a random idea. Just start working on it. Start working on it, and if you fail, just try something else. If you fail in that, try something else. Just try hit and run, and eventually you will reach a point uh, when you will try to understand the philosophy within you, what you feel is the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
And at the age of 20 and 25, you don't have to think about the family and stuff. So you try to implement. You can survive in a chapati and stuff, and try to use most of your money uh, to to grow your idea. But later on, it's like you will have a family and stuff. So family who you have to support. That
Right.
time you will be more. You will be in your shackles. So try to think about that stuff right now. You will be a failure right now. No worries. You can be a failure. But at a particular at a bigger stage in life, you will have a particular idea. You will have a proper mindset that you have to do in the work industry rather than going in
Right.
multiple.
Right. Right. So Vaibhav, it again, though you don't like to be labeled as an entrepreneur, but with every conversation, I see the traits of an entrepreneur every now and then, coming out of your conversation. Like, whatever challenge what if I may summarize what you said right now. I mean, whatever challenge the society or maybe you're facing in life, try to turn it into an opportunity. Like, for instance, the present COVID situation, you are asking the generation to convert it into a scope for advancement of their interest of understanding themselves, understanding their philosophy, maybe take an online course understanding different kind of subjects. So this is again another successful trait of an entrepreneur, wherein they are never stopping. I mean, there is no stopping to an entrepreneur who's constantly believing, if this works, that's fine. If it doesn't work, also, I will make sure that I learn something from it. So that's a wonderful, characteristics. And you've been talking about family, and so if I may draw attention in that direction, in the life of an entrepreneur, or in the life of, let's say, if I consider you as an explorer, if in the life of an explorer or an entrepreneur, how important is family?
Uh, for right now, I'm not considering about the family part uh, because I'm working right now so that I can look after my family later on in life. I
Hmm.
can be with my family later on in life. And if I work now and
Hmm.
sacrifice my time with my family right now, at later in stage in life, at a bigger stage, at a longer stage in life, I can be with them and support them. And that time I will be, on my feet and well established. I think I may. So at that time, if I can be my family, and the family is, everyone in life. It's the first circle you will come forward with. So
Hmm.
the first thing you have to do is make your family circle strong. So
Fantastic.
go and develop your family first, and then
Fantastic.
you can be greater in life.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, Vaibhav, if I may, because see, for our viewers, if they look into your video part, honestly speaking, you are exuberating that kind of energy, that kind of enthusiasm, that kind of force. There is a lot of positivity, which is being showed in your video. Like, uh, chalo yaar kuch karte, something like that, like, it shows that, rise up and do. So, this confidence, somewhere down the line, is your family responsible for that? I mean, how supportive have been they in your project and in whatever you are trying to do, and your dream project or whatever you are trying to explore? How supportive have been, they have been so far?
They typically don't know about this project. So I rather believe in myself, and I should reduce them the plate up when I'm successful, right, rather than the unsuccessful part. Uh, you have to make yourself so strong that no outside force can shake you. The thing is, there comes a generation gap. Your family has gone through a particular generation and you are going through a different generation. So
Uh-huh.
it's okay for them to say that you are wrong, but you have to you should have that in your brain that you are doing the right thing. Eventually, you will succeed. The success part is never the thing. You have to keep working, and your family might not understand the same thing because they have not gone through the same
Hmm.
process. Because life at that stage was you can get a good education and then you will directly get a job and stuff, because that time education was uh, more of a more better privilege. And the thing, uh, like 2 weeks back, there was a person who called me and he said that his family was not letting him chase the food crops in his farm
Uh-huh.
to medicinal part. He wanted to introduce a medicine in his plant, like medicinal farming he used to do,
Okay.
rather than cutting the. Right now they are doing the wheat farming. So I said they are totally right. Your parents are totally right. They will never be wrong. The thing is, because they have gone through that change, because they know that wheat is the because what set of food crops will achieve the maximum profit and what will
Hmm.
occur the maximum loss. So they are totally right. They have experimented themselves. They have gone through that whole process
Right.
at earlier stage in life, and they are now stagnant. They don't need to experiment now themselves now, but it
Hmm.
is you who has to experiment yourself. So try to start with something small, like just a small piece of land, and then start medicinal farming on them, and then go to the transporters thing, and talk to the transporter who can transport your product to the viable consumers.
Hmm.
So you have to start small and then try to experiment, rather than saying that your parents are wrong. They will never be wrong because they have experimented. They have gone through the whole thing, uh,
Absolutely.
whole process, and they are now stagnant. They don't need to experiment. You are the one who need to experiment. So you have to find a way so that you can go with your parents and against your parents at the same time.
That's absolutely the right way of looking into the thing, because see, wherever anybody is looking into any situation, they are absolutely right. The way your friend is right about cultivating the medicine plants and other thing, he is right because he sees that particular part. But his parents, who have seen much profit and better productivity with food crops, they are also right. So it's not like who's right or who's wrong, but how to work both the ideas towards seeing which is working the best, because it's like almost like coexisting. So that's a wonderful way of putting it, Vaibhav. And so you've been doing a lot of part of consulting and counseling part also to your friends and families who are requiring it. So it's always great talking to entrepreneurs, Vaibhav, and I just hope that I can keep on talking because it actually gives us insight into the thought process of some very bright minds and the way they think about it and the way we look into the things presently. And the more we observe others, we can know more about them, more about ourselves, and more about how we can change our outlook toward the society. So, Vaibhav, now comes the second part of this mindset session, wherein we generally ask 5 to 6 questions, and these are generally one word answer, or as short as possible. So we will start with if I may ask you, uh, please mention 2 characteristics of yours uh, which you dislike, and 2 characteristics which you like in yourself. If I ask you to be the judge, if I ask you to be me, and if I ask you to judge yourself, being judgmental about your own lifestyle and the way you work into the things, the way your outlook is, what are the 2 qualities which you like and which you dislike?
First characteristic would be understanding the cohesion of people, how they will fit into a particular. ambience. And second will be I like to communicate and understand different people,
Mhm.
mostly while traveling and stuff. And when going to, okay, in one word, I will say understanding people. In two words, rather. And one of my flaw, I would say, something I sometimes becomes too uh, like uh, exaggerated or something like I want if I want a particular work I tend to do it on spot. Like sometimes that may be a flaw because I don't have the patience to wait to
Mhm.
another day. I sometimes it's not always. Sometimes I'm lazy. That's totally normal. People can be lazy, but sometimes doing things on spot and rather being too much excited to do a particular thing sometimes costs me a particular portion.
Mhm.
And second would be I only try to do that things that I am satisfied with. Like if I'm producing a product to a consumer,
Uh-huh.
if I'm satisfied, yeah, if I'm satisfied with that product, then only I will uh, give that product to the consumer. Otherwise, I may not.
Okay.
That's something a businessman or an entrepreneur might be not right as.
Not right.
He should be able to deliver everything he is given responsibility for.
Mhm. I understand. So, if I may consider your two flaws, the first is you get too possessed with, doing that thing at that moment and, doing it right. And second is, you tend to do those things which you get satisfaction out of it, and rather than, breaking the barrier. But then again, maybe you are a perfectionist. That is the reason, you both of these two characteristics are popping up in your own life, because those are the characteristics which are generally triggered by people who are perfectionists. So they are, first thing is they are highly possessed by the idea. Second thing is they want to do the best to their satisfaction. So this is a sign of being perfectionist. So I understand your passion towards that, because sometimes we do get passionate about our activities and actions that we want to, because we are looking forward to all the actions being making the right impact. That is what causes this many a times. So just sharing my insight, okay, just sharing my feedback. So what is your greatest fear?
My greatest fear, literally, last year I was particularly I was having these nightmares that I didn't keep up with the hope that other people have of me. Like all of the people I meet, they have high hopes for me, and if I'm not able to achieve that hopes for them, it will be my greatest fear that I'm not able to produce myself up to a level that other hope I should have been in my life.
Mhm. Okay, so not being able to meet the expectation of others has been
Yeah.
your greatest fear. But Vaibhav, the thing is, uh, uh, from my age and experience, I can tell you that we might try to give 100% throughout our life, but it's always very difficult to meet everybody's expectation, because the expectations are sometimes not pretty realistic and logical. Rather than sometimes it is inconsiderate of the particular person, because I might be asking you, it's something like, I am expecting you to be a great swimmer, while you're very good in climbing mountains. So you might be climbing the biggest mountains, right, with ease, but I want you to be the great swimmer, but your capabilities are in climbing mountains. So if I align my thought process as to, okay, he's doing great in climbing mountains, so let me expect him as a mountain climber. I might be overwhelmed. Like, oh my God, I thought him to be climbing only the small mountains. He has climbed Mount Everest. So rather than that, we expect Vaibhav to be crossing the English Channel. So sometimes the expectation, is not very realistic also. But yes, that being your fear, I understand. But we cannot let that fear creep in, because then one point of the time, this question starts creeping inside that I am not good enough. and that is not something which I would recommend, because you are a positively driven person, and that question mark not should not stop you from thinking. Well, if I may ask you, um, who has been the greatest influencer in your life so far? This positivity, this strength, this passion that you show. I mean, like, who has been the most inspiring in your life?
Okay, so this I will give full credit to Gary Vee. He gives a lot of insight on his social media page, and I
Hmm.
tend to follow him and heed to what he has to say about life because there are too many people nowadays who give mentorship who tend to be your mentor,
Hmm.
but they have not attained, uh, they have not gone through what you have to go through. Like uh, they don't have, if your mentor doesn't have the same understanding that you have and what you have to become in the life, he has not become in the life. He won't give you any proper mentorship. And there are too many mentors nowadays who use who use misuse this point about mentor. So I would say don't find a mentor, but be much aware of who you are uh, following because he might take advantage of you. Like some have tried to, but I would uh, refrain from going forward with that. So
Hmm.
try to find people, and in this I would say Gary.
Okay. So for our viewers, if you can just mention your mentor's name, so that they can also. Is there any way they can follow, and see videos or learn something for our viewers? If you can mention a bit more, if I may ask you, like where can they find this information and so on?
Gary Vee, you can normally search and you will probably find him on the Instagram page
Hmm.
and anywhere. Like you can just Google Gary Vee and he's Gary Vee Media House and Veda Media House, multiple companies in the US,
Okay.
right? And I would especially give credit to Nitish Mathur,
Uh
Nit
huh.
Mathur. He's on Instagram. He gives valuable piece of advices. And QuestionScoop was because I was listening to him that this was formed.
Okay, okay. That's great. I mean, for our viewers, I believe if Vaibhav is drawing inspiration and motivation from this, great mentors, I would request you to do your part of searching and going through their feedbacks, their videos, and their articles to understand better, to add to your thought process. So, Vaibhav, what are you passionate about doing apart from Question Scoop and your engineering? Like on, if I may ask you, like, if you get some time apart from the brainstorming, apart from working on your project, those never stops. I understand. But what is that thing that Vaibhav likes to do with his bit of spare time, if he manages to, or do you have some spare time, or you don't?
Yeah, I particularly made up this mind far back that I will at a particular stage in my life start an NGO or something that helps the community
Okay.
because I think that there are a lot of unprivileged people who we should help. And this is my mindset that if I want to help them, I don't have to take help from someone else, approach someone else to help them. If I want to help them, I should have the capability to help them. So that's the thing that I've kept in mind that I should attain a particular stage that if I want to help someone, I am fully capable of doing it. And for this, I would like to mention people who are my tips in trial. He used to give valuable pieces of advice. I used to uh, lend a particular set of his income uh, to bear with. He was wearing two child, one a boy and one girl. He used to uh, give his particular piece. There's a thing called adopt a child. I forgot. Yeah, adopt a child was something like that. It's it's a
Okay.
program in which you can give like it's around 1,000 bucks per month that you can
Okay.
provide the fees or food
Yes, yes,
on
absolutely.
a
Yes, I
particular
know.
site.
Right, 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 right. I remember. I do remember. I do remember. So that's wonderful. That's wonderful, Vaibhav. I mean,
You can do
uh,
your part because there are a
yes,
lot of unprivileged people.
yes. I honestly am at loss of words seeing the passion towards community and towards giving towards the society at your age. If I may consider your age bracket as 20 to 25, at your age, you're talking about giving back to the society, being contributive, being kind. I mean, I am always right. You know, a lot of people say when they say I go into actually a debate, I go actually into an argument with them when they say, oh, you know, the present generation, nothing is going to happen. But then I absolutely agree, uh, to this point of yours, and I argue with them that it is our viewpoint that has to change. The present generation is much kinder, the present generation is much sensible, and the present generation is much sensitive to what is happening in the society. So if some change is going to happen, it is going to happen through the hands of this present generation. And talking to you today, I am absolutely mesmerized and absolutely believed, and our best wishes and a prayer goes with you and your project. And if I may ask you the last question, drawing a conclusion to this, it makes me sad. Actually, it makes me sad ending this conversation. I just hope our viewers could hear to your philosophy, your ideology, and if we can gain some knowledge from that. So, but time constraints are there, so we will meet some other day. And if I may end this meeting, or let's say mindset program, the last question is, being human or being successful, how do you want to be remembered? How would you answer to that question?
Uh, I don't want people to remember me, but the ideology that I'm after. Keep helping people, keep supporting people around you, and this world will be a big place. Don't remember me, just remember this ideology if you may.
Fantastic. I mean, Vaibhav, uh, honestly, I would, you are making me feel pretty emotional on this mindset program. When I do a comparison of me with your age, I might be double of your age, but the kind of passion, the kind of love, the kind of, uh, honestly speaking, the emotion that you are having inside you to serve the country, to serve the less privileged, it is absolutely, a wonderful experience to, be with you. It's absolutely learning curve for me that if this young generation can do it, when would we do our part? When would we rise up to the needs of the less privileged? So, Vaibhav, it's always a privilege talking to an entrepreneur in mindset. And I'm sure, see, this mindset program was initiated not to talk about the success of a project or, advertise the project or something. This episode was initiated to give the viewers a scope to understand the ideology that we are talking about, the philosophy that you follow, and the positivity that you carry. So, with that note today, Vaibhav, from all of us at Career Counseling, I would wish you and QuestionScoop the success as deserved. And you can bet that I will be putting forward my questions, those which I find difficult in finding the answers to QuestionScoop. So I will be putting all the details of QuestionScoop for the viewers. Let me tell you, I will be putting all the details of QuestionScoop, their website, their Instagram handles, and others in our today's message only. I would urge every viewers to visit QuestionScoop website, their Facebook page, and their LinkedIn page, and be connected to these bright individuals who are going beyond their classroom, who are going beyond their degree and who are rising up as better human beings. We feel proud of this kind of individuals. We feel proud of this generation. And I salute your spirit, Vaibhav, a spirit which is driving the whole team of passionate people like you with all the success. Do take care, stay home, stay safe.
Thank you. All the viewers, stay safe. Stay home, stay safe. Be fine. Just enjoy your life. This is a great life.
Great, great,
Thank
great.
you. Thank you, sir, for having me on the session.
Absolutely a pleasure, Vaibhav. Absolutely a pleasure. And for the viewers, let me tell today while I was having this conversation with Vaibhav, the kind of passion and the team that he mentioned of those passionate people having full of energy and positivity, it brings into my mind that we have an episode called Studio Live, wherein I would like to invite the whole team of QuestionScoop from across the across the part of India, because they are working from different part of India all together. I would like to invite them in Studio Live for our jamming session, wherein we will be talking about different aspects. We will be absolutely talking about science. We will be talking about entrepreneurship. We will be talking about philosophy, ideology, and the human side of entrepreneurs. So, Vaibhav, with that note today, I once again thank you for joining me in this session. It's great to have you here, and I wish you all the best. And to all our viewers who joined us, have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Stay home. Stay safe. That's all for now today.
Thank you everyone for listening to me. Just start
Ab-
somewhere. At the end, I will just like say this line. Just start whatever you have.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Great, great. So let's wind up this session. Goodbye from now. Bye.